Welcome, dear viewers. We'll continue practicing MCQs, and today is the turn of practicing MCQs related to research. Let us start. What is research? A. A laboratory experiment. B. A report. C. A systematic inquiry. Or D. A procedure. The correct answer is C, that is a systematic inquiry. Next question is dash is a set of elements taken from a larger population according to certain rules. Sample, population, statistic, or element. The correct answer is sample is a set of element from a larger population. Next question is A dash is a subset of dash. Sample population, population sample, statistic parameter or parameter statistic. The correct answer is the first one, that is a sample is a subset of population. What is an hypothesis? A prediction of a relationship between certain variables, an experiment that tests certain predictions, an independent variable or a dependent variable. Correct answer is the first one, that is a prediction of a relationship between certain variable is called hypothesis. If a researcher is finding the effect of using laptops in his classroom to ascertain their merit and worth, he is likely conducting which type of research? Is it a basic research, applied research, evaluation research, or experimental research? Correct answer is it is evaluation research. An operational definition is one that bears no relation to the underlying concept, an abstract theoretical definition of a concept, a definition of a concept in terms of specific empirical measures, or one that refers to opera singers and their work. The correct answer is C, that is a definition of a concept in terms of specific empirical measures. Next question is, in the statement, an examination of the effect of a discretional behavior on employee performance is the independent variable, dependent variable, extraneous variable, or causal variable. The answer is it is dependent variable. The most difficult sources to locate are dissertation, policy reports and presented papers, government documents, or scholarly books. The correct answer is policy reports and presented papers are most difficult resources to locate. A concept is a generalized idea about what? A class of objects, attributes, occurrences, or all of the above options. Correct answer is all of the above three options, that is a class of objects, attributes, and occurrences. Next question is quantitative research only works if number one, you talk to the right number of people, you talk to the right type of people, you ask the right questions and analyze the data you get in right way, or all of the above. Correct answer is all three of the aboves. What is opposite of a variable? A constant, an extraneous variable, a dependent variable, or a data set. Correct is The opposite of variable is constant. Which of the following is not a function of clearly identified research questions? They guide your literature search. They keep you focused throughout the data collection period. They make the scope of your research as wide as possible, and they are linked together to help you construct a coherent argument. Correct is C, that is, they make the scope of your research as wide as possible. Next question is, the scientific method is preferred over other ways of knowing because it is more reliable, systematic, accurate, or all of the given options. The correct is all of the given options, that it should be reliable, systematic, and accurate. Next question is, experiment research is the only type of research that enables researchers to make conclusions about group differences, the change of the variables over time, the relationship among variables, and cause and effect relationship. The correct answer is cause and effect. Next is, what does quantitative research measures? Feelings and opinions, numbers and figures, numbers and feelings, all above. Answer is number and figure. Which of the following is a question of internal validity in experimental research? How widely can the results of the experiments be generalized? Has maturation influenced the dependent variable? Was the sample representative of the population? Will replication in another setting result the same findings? And has the maturation influenced the independent variable? Correct is, was the sample representative of the population? Next question is, the marketing research process consists of 4 steps. Which of the following is not these steps? Developing the research plan for collecting information, evaluating the competitor strategies, defining the problem and research, and none of the above. The correct answer is B, that is, evaluating the competitor strategies. Next is, a literature review requires planning, clear writing, good writing, and all the given above. All the given above is the correct answer. What are the 2 types of research data? Primary and secondary, qualitative and predictive, qualitative and quantitative, and predictive and quantitative. The correct is C, that is qualitative as well as quantitative. One of the most critical stages in the survey research process is research design, questionnaire design, interview design, or survey design. The correct is questionnaire design. Next question is, what are the 3 popular methods for obtaining primary data? Interviews and surveys, observations, Harrison methodology, survey, interviews, and experimentation, and experimentation, personal interview, or Delphi technique, or interviews with surveys, observations, and experimentation. Last one, that is interviews and surveys, observations, and experimentation, is correct. Which of the following sequences for analyzing data is in the best order? Calculate descriptive statistics, construct graphs, and calculate inferential statistics. Calculate the inferential statistics, construct graphs, and calculate descriptive statistics. Construct graphs, calculate descriptive statistics, and calculate inferential statistics. The last one is calculate descriptive statistics, calculate inferential statistics, and construct graphs. C is correct. That is construct graphs, calculate descriptive statistics, and then calculate inferential statistics. Next is this type of research is intended to be carried out by any professional in any type of school to investigate a problem. The findings are limited in their generalizability. Historical research, survey research, ethnographic study, or action research. Correct answer is action research. A characteristic of scientific method is that any researcher can replicate the study. The methods used can be understood only by experts. Conclusions are tentative and subjective to change. Findings frequently contradict personal experience. The correct is conclusions are tentative and subjective to change. Next is which of the following research studies is most likely to be experiment. Number one is study of the leadership characteristics of successful high school principals, a study that compares the cholesterol levels of vegetarians and meat eaters, a study to determine if parents give more sociable teachers high ratings, and a study to find out if using concept maps can increase achievement. Last one is the correct answer, that is a study to find out if using concept maps can increase achievement. Next, which of the following will give a more accurate representation of the population from which sample has been taken? Number one, a large sample based on the convenience sampling techniques. A small sample base based on a simple random sampling, and a large sample based on a simple random sampling or a small cluster sample. Correct one is C, that is a large sample based on simple random sampling. Sampling in qualitative research is similar to which type of sampling in quantitative research? Simple random sampling, systematic sampling, quota sampling, or purposive sampling. Correct one is the last one, that is purposive sampling. The numerical description that describes sample may be expected to differ from those that describe population because of random fluctuation inherent in sampling process, sampling design, non-probability sampling, sampling error, or probability sampling. Correct is sampling error. People who are available, volunteer, or can be easily recruited are usually in the sampling method called simple random sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling, or convenience sampling. The last one is correct one, that is convenience sampling. In which of the following non-random sampling techniques does the researcher ask the research participants to identify other potential research participants? Snowball, convenience, purposive, or quota? Correct is snowball. A number of calculated with complete population data and quantifies a of the population is called which of the following? A datum, a statistic, a parameter, or a population. They are called a parameter. Which of the following is not a type of non-random sampling? Cluster sampling, convenience sampling, quota sampling, or purposive sampling? Cluster sample. Cluster sampling is not a type of non-random sampling. Which of the following would usually require the smallest sample size because of its efficiency? One-stage cluster sampling, simple random sampling, two-stage cluster sampling, or quota sampling? Answer is simple random sampling. A technique used when selecting clusters of different sizes is called cluster sampling, one-stage sampling, two-stage sampling, or probability proportional to size, or PPS. Correct one is the last one, that is PPS. Which of the following is not an example of non-random sampling techniques? Purposive, quota, convenience, or cluster? Last one, again, cluster is the right answer. Which of the following sampling methods is the best way to select a group of for a study if you are interested in making statements about the larger population? Convenience sampling, quota sampling, purposive sampling, or random sampling? Last one, random sampling is correct. A hypothesis can be described as a hunch, a wild guess, a type of statement made by researchers when they are attempting to get funding for their research, a prediction of some sort regarding the possible outcomes of a study. Last one, that is a prediction of some sort regarding the possible outcomes of study is called hypothesis. Which of the following is a disadvantage of stating hypothesis? A hypothesis involves a philosophy of science, thus enabling one to make specific predictions on the basis of prior evidence or theoretical argument. Second, it may prevent researchers from noticing phenomena that do not conform to the hypothesis. Third, it increases sample size. And fourth, it results in unethical procedures. Correct answer is C, that is, it increases sample size. Which of the following is an example of a null hypothesis? Motivation is not related to achievement. Highly motivated people are more likely to be successful than those with low motivation. Highly motivated people are less likely to be successful than those with low motivation. And the fourth one is motivation is related to the achievement. Correct is the first one, that is motivation is not related to achievement. What is the term that describes the difference between a sample and its population? Sampling error, the chi-square test, descriptive statistics, or inferential statistics? First one, sampling error is correct. What is the basis of scientific method? To test hypothesis in conditions that is conducive to its success, to formulate a research problem and disprove the hypothesis, to test the hypothesis, and if they are disapproved, they should be abandoned completely, or to formulate a research problem, test the hypothesis in carefully controlled conditions that change the hypothesis. Last one, this one is the correct one. Analysis of variance is used when comparing two sets of ranking, used when comparing several sets of scores, used when comparing two sets of score, or used with categorical data. B is correct, that is used when comparing several sets of score. Dash is the standard deviation of a sampling distribution. Standard error, sampling standard deviation, replication error, or meta error. First one, standard error is correct. There is difference between a sample statistic and the corresponding population parameter. Standard error, sampling error, differences error, or none of the above. Correct is sampling error. The standard deviation is the square root of variance, a measure of variability, an approximate indicator of how numbers vary from mean, or all of the above. The correct is all of the above. A graph that uses vertical bars to represent data is called line graph, bar graph, scatter plot, or vertical graph. Bar graph is correct one. Which of the following would not be an appropriate synonym for the dependent variable? Outcome variable, response variable, affected variable, or experimental variable? Last one, experimental variable, is the answer. The most frequent occurring number in a set of values is called mean, median, mode, or range. Mode is most frequently occurring number. As a general rule, the dash is the best measure of central because it is more precise. Mean, median, mode, or range. Mean is the best measure. The dash is the value you calculate when you want the arithmetic mean, median, mode, or all of the above. First one, that is the mean. The mean is the value you calculate. The dash is often the preferred measure of central tendency. Skewed when I repeat, the dash is often the preferred measure of central tendency if the data are severely skewed. The options are mean, median, mode, or range. Correct is the median is often the preferred measure of central tendency if data are severely skewed. Which of the following is not a measure of variability? Median, variance, standard deviation, or range? Median, first one, is not a measure of variability. Which of the following is not a common measure of central tendency? Mode, range, median, or mean? Range is not a common measure of central tendency. Then median is dash, the middle point, the highest number, the average, or the affected by extreme score. The first one, that is middle point. Open-ended questions provide primarily which data? Confirmatory data, qualitative data, predictive data, or none of the above. They provide qualitative data. Which of the following is not the form of non-random sampling? Snowball sampling, convenience sampling, quota sampling, or they are all forms of non-random sampling. Last one is correct, that they are all form of non-random sampling. Which one of the following is not a major method of data collection? Questionnaires, interviews, secondary data, all of the above are methods of data collection. Last one is correct, that all of the above, that is questionnaire, interview, secondary data, are methods of data collection. The non-random sampling type that involves selecting a convenience sampling from a population with a specific set of characteristics for your research study is called convenience sampling, quota sampling, purposes sampling, or snowball sampling. Correct is it is called purposive sampling. And with this we come to the end of this video. See you in the next video. Till then,